Hey everybody, I'm Kelly Ellers,
I'm Jeffrey Lunnan.
and this is Volume Up by the Teas.
This month's Hello Salon Pro Box is all about effortless, everyday, great hair. We've partnered with Milkshake to bring you their beloved lifestyling collection, now with upgraded formulas, refreshed packaging, and some exciting new products. Inside, you'll find Let It Shine Spray. Ultra lightweight, delivers maximum shine, instant gloss, and keeps static at bay and protects vibrant color. Bodifying Cream. Lightweight volumizing cream for body definition and flexible hold with natural movement. Volumizing mousse. Silky, weightless foam that builds volume, dimension, and a glossy finish with long-lasting hold. Texturizing Spray. Boosts volume and density from root to tip while providing style, hold, and control. Extra strong hairspray. Ultra-fine mist for structure and long-lasting styling. Powered by milk proteins, quinoa proteins, and Integrity 41, these professional quality formulas enhance texture, volume, and shine while preserving your hair's natural vitality. We packed this box with some of our most loved Milkshake favorites just for you. Enjoy them and tag at Milkshake Hair Pro to show off your best looks, or shop even more favorites at milkshakehairpro.com. Purchase your Hello Salon Pro box now at theteas.shop.
Here we are. We live to see another pod.
Do we ever?
You know, I said it out loud the other day, like 5 years is a long time. Like,
I mean, it's
really
like, right?
long
You
time.
always get into this sort of reflective
I
place
do.
at the end of the year.
Yeah,
and
we're reflecting.
But you're right, 5 is a lot. We've gotten through, I'm told, more than 200 episodes, which is
Wow.
insane.
It's like almost a whole year
Mhm.
of talking
Just play
to
us
each
a
other.
loop. I know, it's wild. Yeah, and we are going fast and furious into the end of the year.
Oh
We
my.
are recording before the holidays. You all are really, I mean, this is obviously a fantastic episode, and you're going to want to listen to this one.
Mhm.
But there are some other heavy hitters coming, which we are very excited about. So, I mean, there's no rest for the wicked.
No rest for the podcasters. Sorry, producer.
Sorry. Who I'm desperately trying to get into some social media content.
Oh.
There's a sound bite from a Miss Lily Allen going
Mm.
around, making use of the name Madeline. And that is, of course, our senior digital producer. So hopefully at some point soon, you all will see the fruits of my labor.
Wantings.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
I
I'm
like
really
that.
trying. I'm trying to get some spicy content online.
Oh, I was going to tell you. And maybe I shouldn't, but because maybe you didn't get one. But I got the best gift from our producer, Madeline.
Mm.
It was an Adwala. Is that how you say it? Awala?
Yeah, it's one of those names where I don't
Owala?
say it out loud, so I don't know if it's good or bad
That
or
O brand?
yeah, 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 yeah.
And it says the Diet Coke Social Club. And it's a little cup, a little something for my fridge cigs that I get every
I'm
afternoon, which is a
I'm
Diet Coke.
I was aware of what it was. I saw it before, and I thought,
Are you
perfect.
jealous?
A little bit. I'm not allowed to
You're
keep
not a
fridge
Diet Coke.
cigs. No, 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 I am,
Oh,
but I can't keep them in the house
why?
because the doctor does
Get out of
not does
town.
not
Oh,
have a affinity for same thing. She does view them as being fridge cigs and not in a funny ironic
not in
way.
a LOL, more
Yeah,
like a you're
no,
gonna die. Hmm.
truly, truly.
Wow.
Sorry,
Coming
not
in
to be a
hot. I
downer.
haven't,
No, I
I
know.
haven't, yeah, well, but good knowing ya. We're not gonna get to for
Mm,
6
yeah, yeah.
because of my Diet
Because of your.
Anyway,
But I mean, the fun thing is you could put anything in there.
I can.
And
I
it's Diet
also
Coke branded.
like
Diet
water.
True, which we should all be drinking more of. I
Indeed.
say, I think Diet Coke branding is so cheerful.
It is.
Like there's just they've really done
It
it
just
right.
it makes you want it so
Hmm.
bad. And
Yeah.
something with and I don't have that with anything. Well, that's not true.
Ah, the plot thickens. But yeah, no Diet Coke.
Something about an ice cold one. And are
Mhm.
you the type of person that you go into a gas station and you know, okay, somebody said to
Where are you
me,
going with
okay,
this?
okay. Somebody said to me they like a Diet Coke, but it has to be in a styrofoam cup
Oh no no
with
no
the
no no
crunchy
no.
ice. And you can choose there's Quick Trips here in the Midwest, and
Hmm.
they're amazing, first of all.
They are.
But you can choose a plastic one or a styrofoam one. And that never dawned on me before. Why do they have two options? Like, what's the difference?
I
Seriously.
mean, all of it's bad for us. And that's a great question. The mere notion of a styrofoam cup
The
sends me
sound
into like,
like this.
yeah, no, 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 no. It's just all of it. Like there's nothing good about what's going to come from that cup. But I do know that people obviously have a
Shoot, a
strong affinity.
preference.
Yeah, they
We
really.
need to know why. We
But
need to know why.
I will just say that it almost doesn't matter to me. A fountain soda, specifically Diet Coke, is better than anything else
For
that you could,
sure.
like, there's
For
no other
sure.
delivery
No,
mechanism. If you can have
no.
a fountain,
Delivery
fountains the
mechanism.
way. No, because the cans are, I mean, they do the
The can's the
trick.
second one, but I think it's
Yes.
the
Oh,
mini
the
cans.
plastic bottle is
You can't,
trash.
don't even bother. You take one sip and it's like warm, and you don't need all of that. Like it's too
No.
much.
Yeah, it
You
is too
can't get
much.
through all of it by the
In one
time it's
sitting. Yeah,
warm,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
it's sitting in warm plastic. Like, no.
Well, and in the case of California here, it's that recycled, like slightly greenish
Oh,
plastic.
ew,
So
yeah.
it's even less
That plastic's
palatable as
seen
you.
like a couple lives already. Like,
Correct. It's seen a couple
so
of
we don't like
warnings and yeah.
yuck meltdowns and redos.
Well, all that is to say, incredible job,
An
Madeline.
incredible gift. It was right up there. Right up. I don't know how anybody's going to top it. So there.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, Speaking of things, let's do a little genius or gimmick list, shall
Yes.
we?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to start with the LED hairbrushes. What do we think about this?
I'm pro. I mean, I'm seeing more and more sort of
Yeah.
LED red light technology in all aspects.
Hmm.
Seeing some high profile celebrity hairstylists using the hair
Said. Hmm.
caps and brushes. And why not? I feel like this is actually a good thing, a genius thing, not a gimmick, because we know
Yeah.
that the red light therapy stuff does work. So
Yeah.
I'm
I
saying,
mean,
yeah,
I think it's awesome, and I'm kind of bummed I didn't put one on my list, to be honest.
there's still
I mean,
time.
the more hair I can get, the
The
better.
better.
I
Yeah.
mean, and the LED, you know how I feel about my LED mask. By the way,
Hmm.
I got you that last Christmas, and did
Hmm.
you get it out of the box yet?
It's out of the box.
Okay. I mean, that's a real bitch
Still,
slap, you
it's
know?
not. It's not. It's not. I
It
mean, it
really
sounds like it
is.
every time I say it. It sounds terrible, but it's more out of like care. I'm so worried that I'm going to damage it or not.
No,
What's going
that
to
is
happen to my
not true.
skin?
That is not
It's not.
true.
Nothing's going to happen to me. I'm more just like,
So is it like a gallery? It's like a museum sort of thing for you? You
yes,
just
that
want to, okay.
is. It's exactly the
That's a new
situation. Like
one.
I
That's a new
admire
one.
it, and it's like, will this be the day that I put it on my face?
And it's almost been 365 days and you
I
have
know. So
not.
maybe I'll go into 2026. I mean, we all know we've seen some videos of me. I talked about this with
Your
Madeline.
pink skin.
Yeah, my pink piggy skin that's aging as we all
Yeah.
sort of go
Yeah.
on this mortal coil.
It's
So yeah,
going
I
down.
will be using it. So, but no, yeah, genius. The LED hairbrush,
Okay.
genius, not a
Okay.
gimmick.
Scalp massagers.
So if you've got an LED hairbrush, do you need? So this is my
No.
this is my question. Do we need a specific scalp
Mm.
massager? So I'm
Yeah,
inclined
like
like
I don't
I
need
think
one.
it provided you are massaging your scalp in some meaningful
Hmm.
fashion, I don't know that you need a scalp massager per se.
Yeah. It's
If you are
it's a plus up. Like it's a
yeah,
nice to have.
and
Like,
nice to have certainly.
mm,
But I just don't find myself reaching for one often, if that
mm-mm.
makes any sense. Like I
No.
love brushing my hair and the sort
You
of
do?
I do. Just because I don't there's something about the
You
like
physically just brush and
well
brush.
not like Marsha Brady or whatever,
Yeah,
like
you
not
do, Marcia. You just
no
at night you're brushing.
there's not enough hair for it. No, and my kids hate it. They hate having their hair brushed.
They do? Oh, you
So
gotta whip them in
my
shape.
older one is tender-headed, so it's like you put a brush into your
Come
hair, and she's like,
on.
"Ugh!" And you're like, "I'm not brushing. I'm
That
not
wasn't
even
the,
brushing."
you know what drives me nuts is
Hmm.
when kids' hair isn't brushed, actually. I think it's a
See,
complete reflection of the parenting. I
so
really, really
you're
do.
not. I share
Mhm.
that feeling.
Like,
So
let me give you an example. There's this
mhm.
little girl that comes to our house to walk
Oh,
Spark. We don't,
no,
I
no.
don't
I
think your
hope they're not.
parents are
I was
listening.
gonna say, I hope they're not listening.
No, I actually don't even know their name. So,
Okay, okay. So likely, strong
it's
likelihood
a
that they're not
real
listening.
stretch, real stretch. Her hair is in a damn rat's nest.
Yeah,
Like she just literally woke up like that.
yeah.
And nobody thought to say this could be a problem.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I mean,
just I want to
I
brush her hair,
similarly
but
feel
I
like
don't
it's
know
no,
her.
you can't do
I
that.
can't.
You
I
can't, you
can't.
can't. But we all should, but we can't.
I can't just be like, come over here.
Yeah, let
Little
me get
wet
in there real
brush.
quick.
Yeah. She comes back home, her hair is all like curled and
Like
like
what happened? Um, no, I'm of the same opinion of, I mean, my kids can't come out of the house looking crazy
yeah.
because
Okay,
ultimately it
thank
is a bit
you.
of a no, no. But I mean,
The
I
rub.
come from an also like this is like the weird sort of cross-cultural stuff. I came of age around people who did a lot more to their kids' hair, like shellacked in gel and bows and like that
Oh,
was like you
yeah.
really look presentable.
Yeah. Yeah. Like you double
So
down.
right, so I feel like with my kids, I'm like, it could be worse. It could be worse
Your tender
than
head
that.
could
I was
have
gonna say
bows on it.
it could, and it doesn't. So you should thank me for it and stop complaining. But yeah, all of that is to say, I feel like a scalp massager, because yeah, it can be a gimmick.
Okay.
How about that?
Yeah. Okay. Spray on nail polish. I'm gonna go total gimmick. There's no way that works.
No, there's no way. There's
How
no way.
how would you? I'm picturing like spray paint. How are you gonna isolate said area? Like how?
With like tape, like you're gonna tape
Yeah,
off
that
your
doesn't work. And
no,
not
that's
nope.
much more
Mm-mm.
hassle than it would be otherwise. I
Yeah.
mean, if you're a pro, sure, spray on makes all the sense in the world for airbrushing and doing other stuff,
Oh yeah.
but
Yeah.
for a lay person, not gonna
No.
happen. Even
What
those
about
dumb like Olive and June things, I know
yeah, the
that people
stickers?
even those
Yeah,
are like a bridge too far, I think. Anyway,
me
sorry.
too.
I digress.
Okay, what about heatless curling kits? Like heatless curlers.
So no one in my family is in need of things. I'm aware of them in the sense of like, obviously, I'm a beauty editor. I see this.
Hmm.
Do they work? I'm asking
Yeah,
legitimately
so yeah,
because
here's the
nobody needs them
thing.
in my house.
Are you prefacing that so I don't gift you heatless curlers?
No, but it does sound a little bit like that. They all
Yeah, like
have
you said
like
it
some level
twice.
of,
Like,
but they all
don't.
have some level of curl such that like they
Oh,
there
you're
is no
saying they don't
need. There is no
need the
need for it. Yes,
curl.
exactly.
Okay.
There's
I thought you meant
literal no. I mean it.
the
I know like
mechanism.
people like to experiment with their looks and they like, oh, it's a heatless, like low commitment. I'll try. No one needs that. They all have a baseline curl.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well,
that's what
here's
I'm
the
getting at.
deal. I think they work wonderfully if you know how to use them. And I would say I'm pretty novice right now. And
Okay.
that's shocking, I'm
So,
sure. It is such a thing to get them in because
hmm
you have one long one and then you have to
hmm
roll all your hair up and then hope it stays. Well, it doesn't stay. Then you have to put a clip up here and then you're like going to bed with a clip and the rollers and you're like, could I just curl it in the morning?
Could you? Could you? So when you
So,
do it 100% properly, like the execution
yes,
is flawless.
which has
Is
yet to be
yeah,
seen.
but okay,
Hmm.
but if you were,
Yes.
are we expecting that the
Mhm.
result is like wow, 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 wow?
Yes.
Because
In
you see
fact,
those videos online.
Monica, our their co-founder,
Mhm.
she does them, and whoa, baby, I can tell when it's a heatless curl day because she some days has like the total Farrah Fawcett.
I didn't realize it was
Yeah,
heatless.
I think it
Okay.
is.
Okay. Well
Hmm.
then I'm saying it can't
Yeah,
necessarily be a gimmick. It's got to be but is it genius? That's where I'm, you
I
know.
don't know if it's genius, but like it was just like
Fair.
a big ribbon, like essentially. So I don't
Yeah,
know.
yeah,
I
okay.
think it falls in between genius and gimmick because I have two sets of them too.
Two,
So
so
if we're
one
gonna
was
talk
not enough.
about
Why was
genius,
what
yeah,
made you do
then
the second one?
well, the first one per se,
Hmm.
I got like the pack of them, so they're like five of them,
Yeah,
and they were too short, and so they were too
for your amount of
short, and
hair.
so then I needed the longer one to do
Yes, I
all of
see.
them.
Yes,
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Okay.
So
Well,
anyway, they got me to
hmm.
buy two. We're going in the middle of genius and gimmick, right?
Yeah, yeah. I feel like that's all we can give them. What about what I'm told is a thing that exists?
No,
$80 brow gels?
no, that's a total gimmick.
Can we get
Even
a
if it's Victoria Beckham, like we don't need
who's the
80,
$80? Yeah, yeah. Madeline, can you weigh in? Which brand is charging 80
not a thing.
bucks for a brow gel? That's highway robbery.
That's a total gimmick.
Do you have a go-to brow gel? Do you like
I
a
do.
specific?
I'm a supporter of Anastasia, you know. I think that
So,
she invented the brow game, and so I'm gonna give my girl that loyalty.
you know
Yeah.
what? I was on set recently, and the celebrity makeup artist that had been contracted for it raves about Anastasia Beverly
Yeah.
Hills brow gel. Like she was
Yeah.
like, if you like, that's
Hmm.
absolutely what you need. Okay. All right. So
Okay.
we got a link. It's not
Oh, Rodan
$80,
and Fields. Oh, that's so like no,
$89.
but Rodan and Fields is like multi-level marketing, like
Oh
back in the
my
day. You
God.
know what I
What?
mean? Nobody's buying this. Nobody at home is buying this. That's ridiculous. Are they saying it's going to help
$89.
conditioning gel? No. Come on, Rodan and Fields, get your shit together. That's ridiculous.
Use this. No, no, that's garbage. No, that's a total ripoff. There's no way in
Total.
hell. No,
No.
so that's a
No
gimmick.
way.
That $80 brow gel gimmick.
Okay.
Brow gel in
Yes.
general, not a gimmick.
Not a gimmick.
A genius.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what we got. These are some things that I think that, when you're thinking about gifting and stuff, maybe give it another thought.
Some yes and some no.
All right, let's get
You heard
into
it from
our
us here.
you did hear us beleaguer some of these things. Let's get into our celeb
Okay.
photos of the week, shall we?
We
Follow along
shall.
these looks by either checking out the show notes where we link them so you can see them, or our Instagram because you can see them there. So first up, one of my least favorite
I
people.
know. Wow. This is just going to set you right off.
Yeah. Oh God, I wish you
I
didn't.
already know it's
They
a
knew what they were
no.
doing. No, this is trash.
Okay, Kendall. So I'll I'll tell you what it is. She's basically we've got a lot from the Vogue L'Oreal. Well, this is actually from Vogue, but the L'Oreal Paris Women of Worth event. And
Hmm.
one would argue, Jeff would argue that she probably didn't need to be there.
You said it. I didn't say it. I did not say that. Putting
Um,
words in my mouth.
so we're welcoming back her PC ponytail, and it's just it's a ponytail, like a split down the middle, a little bit of a chunk of hair just out there, like a tiny little curl on it. It's not record breaking, but I
No.
do think for her outfit, like it needed her hair needed to be pulled back because of the jacket.
Yeah.
And I
Yeah,
have
yeah,
a
yeah.
jacket like that, and I pull
Mhm.
my hair back just like
Yeah.
Kendall.
Your hair looks better than Kendall's. And Kendall is probably one of the most
She's the yeah, I like her.
interesting
Yeah, I
of the
like her the best.
gang. I just don't think executionally this is where
It
it's
was
at.
not. Yeah, I mean it's like a 4, I think, for
Uh,
me.
it's like a two.
Okay.
Yeah,
Well, I think
moving
you're
on.
clouded by, yeah,
I'm
clouded
certainly
by the
clouded,
light.
certainly clouded.
Yes.
But if you look at it, I mean that PC bit that you're talking about,
It's not, I don't know what we're doing
there's some
now with that. No.
separation, and it's a bit like a panel. Like maybe we were gonna
Ah, like it
pull
fell
it.
out. Like, yeah.
Yeah. We were gonna pull it real taut, and then it was like, oh, let's do
Let's do
something. Like
something different.
yeah, I'm seeing through it. No thanks.
Okay, okay.
All right, next up, Iowa Biri. Uh, we're wearing a little
Little,
chapeau. I don't know how you
that's what it's
look away.
called?
No, I mean it's a little hat, little
What's
sailor
a
hat,
chapeau? Is that a
little
hat?
French hat.
Oh, it is a tiny little hat. It's a little
Yeah.
hat. Too little for me.
But okay, so
It's a look. I mean,
Io's wearing a tiny little black hat, and her
mhm.
hair in micro braids curled.
Yes.
I'm hard pressed to tell the length exactly.
Yeah, it might be tucked back.
Yeah, because it seems
But
like it's
we're
curled in
like
such a
right
way.
at the collarbone is what we can see.
Yep. And this color is really
It's
beautiful.
so beautiful. It's so great.
It's sort of
Who is her? Oh, Nikki Nelms,
mhm.
of course.
There we go. There we go. Now
Nikki,
it's all
this
making
is
sense.
good. This is some good stuff
This
right
yeah,
here.
so an about face
Um,
from my previous ranking. This is like a 9 or a 10 for me.
yeah,
I'm all about this.
that's a
She
10
looks
for me.
incredible. And I think that the chapeau it's especially appropriate to say in French because she's
Yeah.
wearing Chanel. She's a brand ambassador. It's a
Oh
Chanel event.
God.
It's all coming together. Good on
It's
her.
fantastic.
Yeah.
The color, the micro
It's good.
braids,
It's good.
fantastic.
It's
10,
good.
10, 10.
Yep.
Next up, another favorite of Jeff's, Sabrina Carpenter. Or do you like her?
No, I don't know. I go back and
I
forth.
don't. The
So I
shtick
will
is getting
say,
old.
well,
It's like,
that's what I'm getting
nah.
at. But just when you get bored,
I
she
know.
does something like this, and
I
that's
know.
why I'm saying like, okay, I see you. Very
Oh,
likely to have been working with Ebony Frausto, who is her
okay.
sort of go-to hairstylist. Although I don't see that he credited himself, so I can't say
Yeah.
definitively. But I like this sort of like
Yeah.
undone version of
I do
what
too.
has become her shtick. Like it's very French girl.
It is. It's very PC. It's got,
Mhm,
a middle part, kind of
mhm,
curtain bangs, if you will, and then some
mhm,
sort of PC shaggy down to also her collarbone.
mhm,
I like the color. It's a exact match of her dress, which
mhm,
is very intentional, I'm sure.
mhm.
Um, And I love that we're not just doing like the bombshell for
Yeah.
this, right? Like I,
1000%, 1000%. Because usually we are huge
yeah,
hair,
it's yeah.
and really, I mean, like we talk about the texture and is it a wig? There's all of those conspiracy
Oh,
theories.
yeah.
That is not the case here. Like it's
It's
really,
beautiful.
I love the texture. I love the shape. Yeah, this
Mhm.
is like a nine for me.
All
I
right.
really like this,
I'm gonna
and
give
it
it a
works
nine
so
too.
nicely with the makeup, which is also more
It
understated
does.
than her normal. So no, this is we're
Which
coming out
I'm,
strong. Look at
yeah, look
us.
at
I
us
was a
ending
hitter
the
at the
year
beginning.
just crushing. One thing I don't like about her look,
Hmm.
and I never have, is I don't understand the blush placement. I don't.
Hmm.
I just don't at all. Do you?
Um,
I mean,
I
I know it's a thing, but
I was gonna say
it
I
just
think that that's
doesn't.
kind of where I think it's
Mm,
a beyond my understanding, and it's more
it's beyond mine as well.
this is reality. This is what people are doing.
Yeah.
She's
I don't think
blush
people are doing
forward.
it. I don't think
Oh,
people.
the internet,
Or do you? Oh, the
the
internet is?
internet is doing
Oh.
it. She's of this cohort,
Hmm.
and she's like Zara Larsson. There's a number of
Oh, okay.
gals that are
I should check
really
that internet.
maybe. A thought. That's what I'm saying. Like it's beyond me. It's a
It's
thing. It's
clearly beyond
established.
me.
But again,
Anyway,
here a little bit more understated than the usual, which you're right, is
yeah,
even
which I
more
like.
sort of amped up. So yeah, this
Yeah.
is like a really strong look. I'm all about it. So shout out to the team there.
Great
Uh,
work.
as always, we've got this week's top beauty stories that you need to know about. So let's get into these as
Okay.
well, and then we'll get to our interview, which, as we said, is a biggie, a good one.
Biggie biggie.
Look. I think people by this point are sick of us talking about bobs, but the
Fair.
bob, I think this year was
It was a Bob
again
year.
a
Yeah.
big bob between the cunty little
Bob.
bob, the fuck ass bob. Like there's so many different variants of the bob, including Lily Collins's micro bob that she just
Hmm.
debuted. So there's a Vogue, oh no, Elle, thank God, not just
Hmm.
Vogue, piece about it being maybe inspired by Victoria Beckham. I think. This bob is better than when Victoria Beckham had her
Oh,
bob.
yeah. Okay. I
Because,
think it's nice and simple on her. I think she
yes.
seems nice and simple.
Hmm.
So it works. It's pretty fresh. It's pretty
Hmm.
clean. I
Hmm.
had a friend who got a cunty little bob and now she's over it. And it's
Oh,
now down to here and she's
how,
going to entertain extensions. And I was
where's
like, hell
here?
yeah.
Where's here? How far is here? Show us again.
Here, like shoulder
Oh,
length. And
okay.
when it
So
gets there, you're
definitely
like,
not
shoot,
cunty.
I'm either go, oh, it was. It
No, I believe
was.
you. I
But
believe you.
now
But now
it's,
you're right.
what
Now
is
we're,
this? What's
yeah,
that? Just
just a bob.
there. Just a
Yeah.
bob.
Hmm. Did
Okay.
she like it when it was at
Yes.
its
Yeah.
height? Okay.
She
Okay.
said mostly women commented on it to her.
I think
That they were
so.
like, you did that? Like, that's so brave. But the other sex was not into it.
So
That a
it's
thing?
interesting. No, I think it's a
Hmm.
yes, yes. I think that this is probably a cut for the girls versus for the guys.
Guys. Hmm.
But yeah, I really like this for her. I wonder if Lily Collins doesn't have a cunty little bob.
It looks
It's
pretty,
pretty
pretty,
cunty.
pretty C-wordy.
Yeah, yeah. You don't want to say it. I just want to keep saying it
Mm-mm, I
because it makes you
don't.
uncomfortable. It's
Thank you
up
for
there though.
that.
No,
Thank
it's
you
up
for
there.
that.
But I think like that's why the parallel to Victoria Beckham in that it's brunette and a bob, like
Yeah.
I'm sort of struggling to
Yeah.
see the
Hard
immediate
stretch. We just wanted to
parallels.
get Lily Collins. Lily Collins publicist just wanted to get her squarely in L,
Yeah.
and they
And
did
I
it.
think then whomever the editor, oh yeah, she just wanted that additional Victoria Beckham
She
knock-on
did.
effect
That's
for
because we clicked
SEO.
on it. We did.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah. Okay, well,
next one,
kudos.
yeah, kudos. Good job, publicist. Anyway, next one is from People Magazine, and this is shocking. Former NFL cheerleader explains why they don't often wash their hair, and the longest she's gone without shampoo. Jeff, it's weeks and weeks. So she
18
took to TikTok.
days.
Yeah,
18
18 days.
days.
I feel sad for her scalp. Like, I don't know. She needs
Talking
that
about a
scalp
scalp
massager.
massager.
We did it.
Not a gimmick for her. She needs it. 18
But
days?
she's like, it's great. I just blow dry. She talked about her powder based dry shampoo, and which she likes better than the aerosol can, which fine. Um,
Mhm.
it's really easy just to blow dry the sweat out of your hair. That has to be like, it makes me want to itch my head. Like, no. She's like, we
Yeah.
do shower a lot. It's like,
Yeah, but you're not washing your hair.
yeah, I would like a pro to weigh in on the damage that's causing her follicles, to be honest. And then
Yeah.
18 days of like 17 days of powder dry shampoo on top
Right,
of
because
it.
it's not just 18 days of not washing. We're also
Yeah.
applying all sorts of things to
Layering
like,
and layering. Yeah.
yeah, and then also like going and performing and sweating on top of it and then
And then doing
layering
it
more.
again.
And then,
That's got to
yeah,
be just a mess.
yeah, I
And but
don't,
she likes it because it holds the curl, which I get.
yeah,
It's
because
like not
there's
even hair anymore. It's like mm,
just product coated.
it's just coated.
Yeah, yeah, this is weird,
Uh-huh. We
gang.
need a weigh in on this.
Yeah, so we'll talk to some pros. We'll circle back.
Yeah.
I just like this is one of the things where like, do we have to share this on the internet? Did you
I
have
don't
to
think
like?
no, I didn't need
I
to
don't.
know it. Mm-mm.
I don't. I almost feel like this is one where you're like, I regret like 18, and
I
then her
think
being
she
like,
might,
lots of others don't do it either. But like, are they also 18 days deep of not washing their hair? Probably
I
not.
mean, if you were a brave soul or I was, we would take the challenge and be like, could we do it? I couldn't.
But that's what I mean. Just like mentally.
No, it like makes my head one itch now. Like
Yeah.
I don't understand this. So anyway,
No. Well, I
I
guess
mean,
I'm really struggling with this, as you guys can tell. So she's saying that I'm like showering, so it's fine, but she's not
but
getting her head wet. Like, how
it's
do you?
not the whole
So you're,
thing.
I'm just like, so we're washing our face, we're washing
Mhm.
our body, and then we're just like this part of my head, like
It's
this.
fine for 18 days. How you not get your hair wet every 18? I bet she wears a shower cap.
Yeah, I don't care for this.
Do you have a
I'm
shower
really
cap?
no, 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 no. I
I
just
don't
I
either.
can avoid. No, I shower caps
Uh,
are. Do you have a shower cap?
no, I do not.
No, they're so embarrassing. I feel like that's an area that could be invaded upon. Like, let's have some not granny
Let's have some
looking.
category disruption there. You know, Drybar did have, I fucking love a category disruptor.
I
God
know.
bless it. Like, you're laughing because I'm always like, which
Yeah,
category?
well,
Like, who's gonna do it?
let's get into it. I
Yeah, let's
mean,
dive right in. Don't take my
there's
idea now. I'm gonna reinvent.
we should chop this out.
You know, Drybar tried because they
Mm.
sold that little yellow one with their little buttercup stuff. And
Yeah.
you gotta believe I almost bought one. Mm,
For a
sure
second.
did.
For a second.
Shout
Well,
out to you,
speaking
Allie.
of, this is actually a great segue
Okay.
of disruption. We've got an article from, well, it's specifically some data that has been released. There was a report that was done by the Future Market Insights company,
Okay.
specific to the demand for professional hair care products, which is
Huh?
set to reach $12.7 billion by
Love.
2035. So
Hell
this is big
yes.
news. We're currently sitting at 8.3 billion in 2025. So big gains. And this is
Huge.
being driven really by a number of trends. So the first one that they're saying is that there is a consumer shift to premium hair care, which we are seeing. And this is a function of all sorts of things, but really product people are wanting is not the
Love.
drugstore stuff even anymore, excuse me. Even though you're seeing all of these stories around, it's just as good as people are
It's not.
opting for these premium products.
Hmm.
Additionally, there is a steadier demand, more so than ever, for salon services. So hair coloring, styling, straightening, scalp treatments is driving product sales. So we
Okay.
expect that those will also increase. And not surprising, I think, to anyone, the influence of social media and beauty culture. So the
Yes.
rise of beauty influencers and social media trends is boosting awareness and
Hmm.
demand for salon quality hair care products used professionally and at home in more ways than ever. And all of this is going to be an important market driver. So I find this to be really interesting. We'll link this in the show notes.
Yeah.
There's all sorts of different sort of market segmentation things that they're talking about. Some standout players, which we won't mention here, but you can look at that in the show notes. And yeah, this is some exciting news, I think, for us because I mean we're in this space and there's so much that's happening, and here it's being backed up by some market research.
We love that. We love that for the teens too, you
Hmm.
know, because not just, you know, the brands, which we adore, and our stylists, because we want them to be retailing more for
Hmm.
sure.
Hmm.
We've talked about that a million times. Wouldn't it be funny though if we look back?
Hmm.
It'd be funny if in 2035 we look back and said, you know, see that spike in 2026?
Hmm.
Guess who disrupted a category? Me.
Kelly Ellers with her
The hair
shower
caps.
caps.
Shower caps.
Let's do
And
it.
we helped that spike, baby.
Yeah.
We helped it.
We just got to make sure that it's premium,
Oh,
and that
do you
there
know
are
me?
social
Have
media.
you
No,
met
I know,
me?
I know.
Do you,
You
I
wouldn't. You
mean,
wouldn't. You
more
wouldn't.
is more. It will be bejeweled. It will have bows on it. It will be
I mean, I'm not seeing that this is a joke, so just stay
Actually,
tuned,
I'm not
everybody.
either. I
Yeah,
kind of
no,
love
this
this.
is
Okay, anyway,
the
I'm
wheels are
having a big
turning.
day. I'm having a big day over here.
All right. Well,
Yeah,
again, we'll circle back to you in a few months about whether or
okay.
not this is
Hmm.
where we're at in terms of
You should be the
business
first to
development.
know.
Do an
All right.
exclusive.
You know what? Dang, I love today. 2025 has been a rocker. Okay.
Mm.
Today we're here with Sarah Hindsgaul. At 19, Sarah left Copenhagen with a one-way ticket to New York, determined to tell stories through hair. Today, Sarah is a celebrated hairstylist in high fashion editorials and major Hollywood productions, including Stranger Things. Her work is recognized not just for technical precision, but for storytelling using hair to capture character, mood, and narrative. I
Mhm.
always love talking to the stylists behind these epic shows because it really brings out so much more. There's just so much that goes into it. Anyway, that's enough about me and my thoughts. Make sure that you subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volume up at thetease.com.
Do it. But before we get there, let's talk Tease Beauty news. First up, I've got an article called Wella Rewards gives you power and
Mm.
perks with the most stylist-friendly program yet. Between building client relationships, maintaining inventory, and investing in your space, we know you
Mhm.
do it all. You've built your business one service at a time, and you deserve a brand that not only sees that effort, but invests in it. The secret's out. Wella is that brand. With Wella Rewards, you don't have to do it alone. This program is designed to give back every time you choose Wella, rewarding your loyalty with real benefits that build your business. This isn't a salon program, it's a support program built for you, the stylist. Head to tease.com for all that you need to know about Wella Rewards.
Jeff, I mean, I have very intimate knowledge of Wella Rewards because back in the day when I was doing social media education, I was a reward.
Mm, mm.
Mm,
Look at
mm.
that. And here we
Yeah.
are.
And kudos to Wella for evolving. I mean, that was 10 years ago. Kudos to Wella for evolving this program because, our stylists need the support, and Wella is doing an incredible job.
Well said.
All right, next up, I have Nail Safety Council warns holiday shoppers about toxic magic gel polish removers. Oh, consumers and nail professionals may be unknowingly using gel polish removers that contain methylene chloride, also known as dichloromethylene. I don't like that. A highly toxic chemical linked to cancer, acute poisoning, and worker fatalities. As the holiday shopping ramps up, the Nail Manufacturer Council on Safety, the NMC, a council of the Professional Beauty Association, our beloved PBA, is issuing an urgent warning about the dangers of these magic removers or burst removers. The rise of counterfeit and illegally formulated beauty products online makes it even harder for consumers and pros to identify what is safe. To help consumers navigate holiday beauty shopping safely, the PCPC has launched BuyNoLie.com, which is focused on providing actionable tips consumers can use to avoid purchasing counterfeit cosmetics when shopping online this holiday season. This is a big one. Head to
Mhm.
thetease.com to learn more about what the PCPC advises consumers to do. And I sure will comb that because I am an
Yeah,
avid nail gal. And you're
I
right. Like,
know.
as a nail
They're
consumer,
they're
you don't
readily available.
ever
I Googled
really.
it immediately upon this hitting our site, and you can purchase these burst magic removers fast.
Yikes.
And yep, on some reputable sites.
Really?
And
Yeah.
I'm in
Okay.
California, and yep, there's all sorts of issues with this. So it is a real danger. So we're so
Huh.
appreciative that this was brought to our
Yes.
attention. Be careful out there.
Be careful out there. And
Thank you.
don't get nails that are holiday themed. Love Kelly Ellers.
Uh, uh, a personal jab at somebody who's on the listening end of this production. Thank you so much to our contributors and editors for this week's beauty news. And don't forget to check out more stories like these on thetease.com.
Now stay tuned for our interview with Sarah.
At 19, Sarah Hindsgaul left Copenhagen with a one-way ticket to New York, determined to tell stories through hair. Fresh out of hairdressing school, she faced language barriers and no connections, taking jobs cleaning salons while learning the craft and industry. Her persistence paid off, landing her first hairstyling role and setting her on a path to success. Today, Sarah is a celebrated hairstylist in high fashion editorials and major Hollywood productions, including Stranger Things. Her work is recognized not just for technical precision, but for storytelling, using hair to capture character, mood, and narrative. Passionate about the intersection of hairstyling, pop culture, and identity, Sarah continues to innovate and inspire, showing how hair can be a powerful form of self-expression. Sarah, welcome to Volume Up. How's it going?
Good. I am in New York and I am ready for this.
I am so ready. I cannot contain my excitement. I'm rewatching Stranger Things, which obviously we'll get to. At the moment, I'm not quite up on season 5, so you're going to give me some spoilers, unfortunately. But I've seen some images. I know the people are watching. There's so much excitement around this franchise. So we're going to get into it. But first, I want to start with how you got into beauty. This is the question we ask all of our guests because
Right.
there's so many pathways. But you came to it a little bit differently than many of our guests. So I'd love to hear about it from you.
I'm from Copenhagen. I started my education really early. I think it was 16. And it's like one of those 4 years European degrees, like old school, where you're working under somebody else.
Hmm.
So the education is really, really important. You go between training and the school, and you will kind of go back and forth. And while I was doing that, it was kind of a bigger salon. They also did their own editorial work and they did a lot of teaching, traveling around. So I did that, handing them brushes and all that stuff.
As you do. Yep.
Did all the volunteer work, training work that you could possibly do. And after a couple of years, they put me on the creative team, and I started working on our posters. And it went like it was like a dream. I was really into it. I spent all my time on it, my weekends, my nights, and it was like a family in that way that you're excited about meeting everybody in the
Mm.
industry. And I remember being like 20 years old and I was done and I was like, I am, restless and I'm going to New York City with my portfolio. And landing in New York was a little bit of a cold turkey. And I had to start over again. My English was not really fluent enough to have clients. And what I thought I was kind of really proud of was it needed more training. Let's put it like that. And
Okay.
also, I think New York is such a different place because you have people from all over the world. So I had kind of like really leaned into this Scandinavian cool chic. Like I know how to do that, right? And
Hmm.
suddenly I had to learn how to do a very strict American blow dry. I was like, well, these guys are serious about a round brush, and
Hmm.
it's got to be shiny and it's got to be smooth. So everything from that to color and technique, I don't think you can ever train enough under
Mm.
enough people. So
Mm.
I did that for years, and then obviously I would still shoot, like do photo shoots and stuff at night and on the weekends and everything really anybody was willing to put
To do.
me on, working a lot for free, right?
Mm.
Which was great. And then I had a friend come to town to do a short film, and
Mm.
that was the first time I was doing anything on film. And that was just like that. I just remember it was like a eye-opening thing when I saw, how hair, you get to see the full movement on a photo
Hmm.
shoot. You're there with one of those like to try to get, because hair is really most beautiful in movement. You
Hmm.
get all that detail and you get kind of the surprise and it just looks so much better. Um, that I was like, this is it. Like to be able to do something for hours where everything has movement and it can do so many things and you can take it in so many different directions. That was just magic to me. So then I had to try to figure out how you make a living out of that.
And how did you do that in those early days? Because obviously you're in a different established place in your career at the moment. But in order to make these film and TV projects more part and parcel of your work, how did you shift or pivot in order to make that happen for yourself?
I mean, at that time, I didn't really know how to go about it, right? There is
That's
no
honest.
Yeah, there is no real way. There is no magical thing you can do. I tried to contact some people and never heard back, right? Because I don't think I don't think even understood the whole thing about unions and how even if they wanted me as an apprentice, they couldn't really do it, right?
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I went on. Back then, there was Craigslist that might still be around. And I just took whatever music videos, whatever that was in motion. And I did, yeah, whatever fell into my lap. And then I met a costume designer, Magosha Soneska. She's just done Hamnet.
Incredible.
And she she was like, you should come to NYU with me. I do all of these student films, and I should introduce you to everybody over there.
Mm.
And I did that, and so I worked kind of. It's amazing to work with costume designers, right? Because starting right there, understanding the costumes, being respectful to their work, and kind of understanding that they start prep a lot earlier than hair and makeup does. You
Mhm.
really got to go and see exactly where they're at so you don't mess with their lines and the kind of build that they have already done to make sure it all is flush and goes together. And so I did many, many things with her at NYU. And then the students start graduating, right? And
Mhm.
suddenly somebody is actually making a real movie and they hired us.
What
And then
was no, no, go ahead.
no, it's then it just kind of goes from there. You're on one job and then you get the next job and you get the next job. And I would say a good thing to remember when you're doing that is that the jobs doesn't always come from where you think they will come from. You'll get very surprised. Always be nice to everybody on set.
Good advice.
Yeah,
Good advice.
yeah.
Was there a specific project that you were like, oh, this is a big difference. This is an opportunity. This is something. Or was it sort of one thing led to another, and it felt natural? I'm wondering if you had the sense that there
Well,
was any one project that stood out, excuse me.
I think from the very beginning, I was very interested in fantasy projects, kind of a little bit anything with a little bit of fairy tale, mystery, period, sci-fi aspects was what I was drawn to. And I think the people that does that is also maybe drawn to me. It's very hard stuff to execute. So I think, you know, I'm really thrilled that a lot of my early stuff, nobody saw it because it is your learning ground. There is
Mhm.
no real schooling. Of course, the European education really trained me in period hair. While you're going to school, you learn everything about wig making, you learn the fundamental things about how to do a denundulation, which is where you set the hair, obviously, as a hard set and
Mhm.
dry it fully, right? Like how you used to do. So you learn all the old techniques, which is very, very helpful because it kind of expands what you're able to do. At the same time, to really figure out how to do that on a time restricted schedule
Mhm.
with no money and maybe not always, actors you have to like involve them in every single aspect of what you're doing so they feel safe with you, right? So
Mm.
when you're doing period or sci-fi, you sometimes you're going into how can you say, very elaborate hairstyles, which takes many years to master. So sometimes you have to kind of push yourself to the limits, right?
Mm.
And in that there's a lot of, small failures,
Mm.
if that makes sense.
Yeah,
And
yes.
then you kind of just get better and better. And for me, the most important things was maybe trying to not be too hard on myself and like celebrate when I learned something.
That's beautifully put. And my question, one of them in that was advice that you have for people, because you are in describing this, making it much less intimidating. But I know that there are people that are interested in working in maybe TV, film, other sort of creative aspects of hair, and they are intimidated. They are overwhelmed by the idea of it. So, what advice do you have for someone who's maybe interested in taking a leap or trying something out, and for whatever reason they're holding themselves back?
Well, I think you should start with short films, right? Or music videos. And in that way, you can see if it's something you really want to bite into. Music videos are often really, really fun. They're very creative. I think it's very exhausting the first couple of times you do it because it's very long days. So you might not want to start with a feature. You want to start with something that's like in a studio space and where you feel kind of safe in the environment.
Mhm.
Because then later on, I mean, I think it's important to have the right steps in it. You don't want to start on Stranger Things, right? Like that's not a great starting point. It's, and then you add like step by step. And I think that will come like in a very natural way.
Mm, mm,
But I also think you kind of, if you want to work on film and TV, like you have to also maybe be kind of an outdoorsy person. Like you can't really, it is not glamorous. And I think that's one thing that has to be really, really clear. I mean,
mm.
sometimes we are in a swamp surrounded by mosquitoes, like in 105 degrees. And then sometimes I filmed at night, in minus 20 degrees, like where you eyelashes would be crystallized. Like, and you can't really complain. Like, it's just part of the game. And you have to also still stay calm and be able to execute under those circumstances. And, so I think, I think it's a wonderful job. I think some of those things are nice to know before
Mhm,
you start. It's a lot of night works. It's a lot of getting up at 4 o'clock in the morning.
mhm.
It's a lot of like, hey, by the way, we're working this weekend too. Yeah, like 2 hours before.
Appreciate the honesty. And I get like so much of these spaces are sort of mystified, and so this is helpful, I think, to sort of let people in on the fold, as it were. So you mentioned people maybe not wanting to be dropped into Stranger Things as like the first gig. I'm curious, how did you find out about how Stranger Things? When were you beginning to be involved? Obviously, you've been involved since season one. We're now in season five, part one, I suppose. So much to talk about, but I want to know, how did this first sort of appear on your desk?
I was doing a show for David Simon called Show Me a Hero up in Yonkers, also set in the 80s. Very gritty, very different kind of show. It was for
Mhm,
HBO. Um, And on that show, Winona Ryder had a recurring role. And so when we were done, we became fairly close on that
mhm,
project. And then she called me and was like, hey, can you come over to dinner? There's something I really want to talk with you about. And she was kind of like, it was fine, show me a hero. She had like 10 working days, right?
mhm,
Like easy
mhm,
peasy. And she's like, these guys, it's like 5.5 months and I've never done television. The lookbook looks really amazing though. So I looked at the little, there's kind of an old fashioned lookbook that was like printed out, and it was just so charming and you could
mhm,
really see what they wanted to do. So I was like, if they're going to execute this, that's brilliant, right? Like, and also television at that time, it was like Netflix, what?
mhm, mhm, mhm,
And I was like, that's a lot of stuff is happening in the world right now. They're like really putting out some good shows. I mean, I got pretty excited. I just think, I think television can give you this opportunity to really build out a character.
mm,
you have so many more hours with them. You can make such a love for them. You can go in so much detail work on film. You got to do those steps really, really fast. So I thought it was like a fun challenge. I also didn't know at that point that I was signing up for a 10-year
Hmm.
life-changing deal, right? But I think sometimes you just there's a certain amount of luck in that stuff too. You got to just keep taking chances on different things. And for me, it's about the process of making something. So even if, it comes out and the whole thing didn't function as one, it's a lot of elements that kind of have to
Hmm.
work to make a show that is very loved, right? But for me, it's about the work. Like I love if I can see that there's some good work there that I'm interested in doing.
Hmm.
That's all. I mean, no, I love people to watch it. I mean, in the end of the day, that's the real dream. But I always go for things where I'm like, I am excited about doing this.
Well, I think that that excitement comes through in this series. I mean, you mentioned it's nearly a decade now in terms of when it started in pre-production, post to where we're at now, and it's obviously coming to an end, which is sad for many fans. I want to talk about season one because
Yeah.
it is so striking. You mentioned. Obviously, it was a period piece. They had these sort of the Duffer Brothers, this lookbook, and if it could be pulled off, and they did. They did. They pulled it off. You were instrumental in that, particularly the hair design. So true to that era. I'm a baby of the 80s. I've got those pictures. It's sort of indistinguishable from what that time really looked like. What was it like season one, building out the hair design for these characters? Was there any one character in particular where you're like, this one for you was a favorite? Like, I'm curious because there's so much, and we will get into it. We'll bore people if they're not into this, but I'm sure they will
Yeah.
be.
I mean, there's some striking. Like, I mean, so I came, obviously, I'm Danish. I'm from
Hmm.
Copenhagen. I
Hmm.
grew up with like dogma films, and I mean, some really gritty
Hmm.
design aspects
Yeah.
to that side of the world. And so I have this strange crossover of having a real, maybe like lust for um, drama but in a
Sure.
very natural way, if that's a way to put it. And so that's what I was kind of trying to do. I wanted to do something that was very realistic.
Hmm.
I kept it very 70s because I think in Hawkins there's a huge delay in fashion, right?
Hmm.
I
Yep.
kind of used our Karen character to like center and cement the exact year we were in.
Hmm.
And then I kept the boys with like home haircuts. We obviously had 11, a whole different story.
Hmm.
Um, and and then I had what we call the teens, where I was also very inspired by the Goonies. I wanted a simplicity in it. I think it was a very simple town, and you don't want to go too harsh at these characters. The first
Hmm.
time you introduce somebody, there was really an innocence and like a kind of sensitivity to the show that I thought was really important. I think I was also kind of aware of where I was going to have some big challenges. It was quite, the budget was obviously tiny in front of
Hmm.
what we're dealing with now.
Hmm.
So I hired my key. I had one key, and I hired Miss Evelyn. She was 74. Yeah, and then I decided, as I have this, magical card of somebody that had a hair salon in the 70s and
Hmm.
80s.
Smart.
But then I will also be doing my own continuity and I will be my own runner, right? But I thought that was kind of worth it to have a few, I could kind of put her on certain characters and
Hmm.
it was like magic. I mean, it was right. It was like perfect, right? And No matter how good you are at doing period hair, I mean, you're never gonna be Miss Evelyn. I gotta
Mhm.
be. And so she taught me also. I'd done a lot of other 80s stuff. That's why
Mhm.
Matt and Ross, they didn't even meet with me. They just hired me because they liked Show Me a Hero. They were like,
Mhm.
that looked great.
She's got it.
You got it. But for me, there's still a learning process in, how to do that everyday looks and
Mhm.
make it look that detail work she could do and the way she used the tools. And, she showed me all of this, which I now have showed hundreds of people how to do. But she was kind of my secret weapon I
Mm.
had that
Mm.
season 1. And like a cute part of that is that she came in this season and, we had styled 100 wigs for background in the
Mhm.
1950s. And I was like, Miss Evelyn, this is your heyday. This is when you were young. And she came in and she's like, oh, let me fix this. And she went through everything. And it's so little that she does.
Mm.
She would just and she just touched them every single wig for about
Mhm.
2 minutes. And she's like, and now we're ready. So she still comes in. I obviously have to, be careful with her hours
Mhm.
and treat her like the queen that she is.
Mhm. Mhm.
But we used a lot of retired, I had a lot of retired hairstylists on Stranger Things from all over the country. Like they all came in to help me out, which is so sweet.
Uh, Sweet, and for us, the viewer, such a treat because to your comment, the hair does not feel like costume. It feels like character. And I'm curious about that sort of distinction for you. I believe you've said that you intend for hair design that the hair disintegrates, that it's not a focus, but it is a focus. So I'm curious about your sort of approach to hair design for these kinds of projects.
I think the most important thing is the comfort of your actor.
Mm,
So I spent a long time and so much dialogue with every single one of them before we
mhm,
start. And I sent them all of my ideas. I can do something that is so period perfect. But if they don't feel right in it,
mhm.
it's not going to sell. Like the
Sure.
person wearing it has to be completely, utterly feel that it is moving with them, right? So we do a lot of testing. I'm sure you've seen of them spinning around, and then
Uh-huh.
there's like a whole thing with like just touching it. I will leave them with the designed my first take, right? Of like this is what we're going for. There will obviously be many depending. Sometimes you're really lucky and sometimes it takes many tries, but I'll
Mhm,
leave them in their hair look and they'll go into their costume fittings, they'll go into makeup, and then I tell them, go to your own trailer, like without me. I don't want you to look at it while I'm also like staring at
mhm,
you, right? Like, because they're like, they don't want to hurt my feelings, right? And I've
mhm,
just spent so many months figuring everything out. So I'm
mhm,
like, you go and you feel this, and then you come back and you give me your hardest notes, every little thing. I want to hear it all. And I think you have to be really open to criticism
mm,
because I mean, I only have one set of eyes, right? So I
mhm,
use my whole department also, which is large now. And like the 10 people, there's my everyday people in the trailer. I also let them tell me what they really think. I'm
mm,
like, don't hold back because the more criticism I take, the better I get.
mm.
And the closer it gets when it gets to the audience. And in the end of the day, that's what's most important.
Mm. The hair really beautifully serves the overarching stories. And these characters, as we've established, are well beloved. I mean, at this point, they've been through a lot of shit, as it were. In this last season, especially, there is a certain amount of grit and seriousness. The stakes are raised, higher than they've ever been. So I'd love to talk about a little bit the hair design of specific characters.
Yeah.
Uh, Nancy, who we all
Mm.
love, we adore. She's been a
Yeah.
hero from the beginning. She's still got her curls. But they're different, obviously. It's not the
Yeah.
same Nancy that we were introduced to. So I'm curious, how were you telegraphing that evolution, what she's been through via her hair?
Well, we start her very innocent, right? I mean, she has that. I mean, she has. I don't know if I should say that, but like that feel of a young, like virgin.
Hmm.
When we start, there's a purity in her character,
Hmm.
and I really and I feel like there's that element of never having cut your hair.
Hmm.
So I wanted that when we started. It's really simple. It's really pretty, but it's brushed, let's put it
Hmm.
like that. And then there's a hair clip in it, right? Just
Yep.
to give it a little bump of the 80s.
Yep. I'm rewatching the episodes that were recommended to watch before you get into the season. And in these episodes, they often refer to Nancy as the
Yes,
princess. And like the hair
exactly.
is very much 80s princess.
Yeah, there's a real simpleness to it. Like that girl, everybody wants to be, and she's not a popular mean girl. She's popular because she's sweet and kind and
Hmm.
likes people, and it's a very different popular girl.
Hmm.
So that needed to read right. That's also why I really wanted to keep it like away from her face a little bit. I remember because she has these amazing eyes. So I was like,
Hmm.
it gotta just like kind of open her up and has a
Hmm.
vulnerability to it. And then, a lot of stuff happens. And then we
Hmm.
go into her being quite traumatized. You cut your hair off.
Hmm.
I don't remember exactly from year to year, but I remember like her emotional arc.
Hmm.
And that is the time where we start also introducing like a early teen perm, right?
Hmm.
There's that kind of like I'm trying to figure myself out stage, and it's
Hmm.
just chopped off. She always has a bit of polishedness, and I care about what I look like. I think she grew up with a mom that told her that you gotta look right to the
Hmm.
world, and this really matters for perception. So later we see her getting her first job, really blowing out the curls. It's very styled, and it's very disappointing to her when it's not actually working the way her mother told her, and it's surprising, because I don't think you see your mom, right? You believe in your parents until a certain stage, and then you're like, wait. Then you
Hmm.
start questioning everything.
Hmm.
So the season was really, really nice. I kind of just softened it, and instead of her using a lot of time on it, I think she had that talk with her mom. I think she can see her mother. I think she can see these men in her life, and she can see how ridiculous this is, and that she has to be her own hero, right? And it is
Hmm.
not about if she used an hour and a half on her hair in the morning.
Hmm.
She is still a very cool, fashionable girl, though. So the haircut I gave her is like one of the coolest haircuts from the 80s, the most popular. Instead of perming it, I decided to kind of go with a soft, natural curl. So
Hmm.
it gives her a little more of a relaxed look.
Hmm.
And so it looks like it's just been brushed through, and it's kind of a go and shake more than where she has to brush it out on the other
Hmm.
side. And I mean, I was very inspired by Aliens, right? And I do think Sinead Weaver's hair in that is just so bad shit. And I just think Nancy is, we think that she is this porcelain doll, and she
Hmm.
might be the toughest one of all of them. And
Hmm.
that is one thing I want to emphasize. Like, I'm like, don't let these like giant Bambi eyes
Yeah.
like fool you. This girl will, she'll hit it hard. And
Hmm.
so that's been an exciting journey.
I'm so tickled to hear the sort of backstory because you see all of this without knowing it, and then hearing it is just such, I think, a treat for me. Someone else that you mentioned earlier is Karen. Obviously, Nancy's mom, Will's mom, has a big moment this season,
Oh yeah.
which again, I've been spoiled. I know enough to know that I need to watch, and I will. Her hair is I don't think you could describe as natural. Like from the jump, and you mentioned like you center the year in which it's taking place based on her hair.
Yeah.
It's nail. It is perfect. It is what I think of when I think 80s hair. That texture, it looks like there's crunch. Like it's
Oh,
so I'm curious. What was the process for her? Because again, she's come such a long way in the series.
well, I think first of all, I think she has a giant, midlife crisis, right? She has lived her life after these rules. I mean, we
Hmm.
have seen her go through very desperate times.
Hmm.
That's a way to put it. And we've seen her go through all of these different fashion elements, and she
Hmm.
got all of that down. And now she's come to realize, and I think it's Nancy, like seeing your daughter realizing this before you and realizing you have done yourself a disfavor and you have actually also recommended her to do the same as you,
Hmm.
and now being like, it's me, I am the one that have to change. She's actually okay. I am the one that
Yeah.
have to work on myself. I think Karen is a very smart person. I think she had all the opportunity in school. I think Ted was so hot, right? And she was
Hmm.
like, this is it. Like, this is the dream. I'm going to go and live the dream. And then, I think the dream became hard. I think she
Hmm.
works really hard to keep this facade. And
Hmm.
when you suddenly have the whole buyer family moving in and the town is in disarray, we just
Hmm.
start seeing her actually crack. And what I wanted to do was like, I wanted to have Holly still look completely intact. I think as a
Hmm.
mother, even though you're cracking on the
Hmm.
inside, you'll always try to have your kids will still look perfect because it's about image. So she would
Hmm.
never let those kids leave the house without her stamp of approval. But in her, we can see it's not the same amount of time that went into the upkeep, right?
Yeah.
And it's a pretty, I mean, it's very, very funny, but it is really, really brutal at the same time because it is like a tough story that a lot of people go through. And the romance novels are just not satisfying her
Hmm.
anymore, right? So
Hmm.
she's searching, and we finally see, obviously, because of these supernatural elements, she kind of gets taken, she gets completely broken. And
Hmm.
then I think when we see that scene, what really is happening is that for the first time, we see Karen Wheeler come out of who she's been and
Hmm.
kind of see what's important. And she's ready to fight for it.
Hmm. Oof, the ferocity, so clear in these scenes. I'm wanting to sort of shift a little bit to some of the boys from season one to season five. We're seeing obviously they've grown physically, um, but in terms of the characters, they've matured so much. And this is also visually something that's happening for us. Talk to us about Will, because those early seasons, the wigs, I'm sure you've seen the
Yeah.
internet's reactions to like where we're at
Yeah.
now.
I mean, I've been enjoying that for years. I was like, well, yes, I'm sorry. I think people often, when they watch film and television, they're quite young, right? They're like, we're so used to seeing these shows where everybody looks beautiful at
Hmm.
all times, like no
Hmm.
matter where they are. They all have
Hmm.
like these perfectly groomed ringlets and
Hmm.
texturized hair to perfection. I think we're so not used to having feelings
Hmm.
when we see characters, right? Especially that's it's not always true. Of course we are, but for this next new generations, they kind of like this is their first experience
Mhm.
with seeing something like that. They were so upset that it made them feel so cringy and awkward, and it hurt inside of them, right? When they see that kid not being able to keep a conversation and he's there with a bowl cut and he can't get stuff out and he's just so stuck,
Mhm.
it really leaves you hurting. And but it has to be that cringe, because you know what, life is that cringe.
Oof. There's the pull
It's,
quote.
yeah,
Yeah.
and we
Yeah.
all been there, right? And what it did for Noah was also it made him feel awkward, and it
Mhm.
really, I mean, as soon as we put that hair on, I mean, his whole body was sick, and he's like, "Oh my God!" And I'm like, "I swear to you, it will be good fun." And he's been such a sport, but it
Mhm.
obviously working with young men coming of age,
Mhm.
you have to do everything with so much love, right? Because
Mhm.
I love Noah, and there's nothing more I want than Noah feel great all the time, right?
Mhm.
It's like your
Mhm.
own babies.
Yep.
And but I'm like, but we also want, of course, to help Noah. And Noah has grown so much in this and have taught him so much character that actually this year I had some stuff I wanted to do. And he looked at me and he's like, I am dying for that. And we are not doing it. So now he is the one kind of holding me, right?
Mhm.
Like he was like, no, we're still going down this path because it's not
Mhm.
about you and me, Sarah. It's
It's about
about
the character.
Will.
Yeah. Yeah.
Who is Will? And now he's like, I know Will.
Mm.
This is the move that would have happened inside of him. We kept the shape, and Noah himself got to do the texture. So it was like it was so hard to like it's too much, is it too little, right? You've got to
Mhm.
be able to see it, but you also don't want to jump scare people
Yeah.
after like having seen this ball cut for so many
Mhm.
years and be like, who is that kid, right? Because obviously it looks very, very different in real
Mhm.
life. So that I think it was one of the, kind of the hardest thing to do this year, just because I felt there was so much. We had to get that right, especially after
Mhm.
sticking to something for so long. And finally,
Mhm.
it's like in the scripts that there's movement. But I wanted to make sure that we really honored the character.
Mhm. And you do, just to sort of say it. I feel like we ought to. Dustin and Lucas in particular. It's so wonderful that he's been along this journey as well in terms of his hair and seeing all sorts of different representations of, a young black man on screen. And
Yes.
in this last season, as of yet, he's got the high top fade, which again, period appropriate, so well executed. What was that like? That plus Dustin, you mentioned the Goonies, like I'm getting Goonies. Like there's so many parallels to sort of popular culture at that time that you're successfully bringing into these characters in this latest bit.
Dustin for me, and for Kayla this year,
Mhm.
it was like we wanted we wanted to make sure that it's very clear that he is not concerned about fitting in any
Mhm.
longer, right? He's kind
Mhm.
of figured out who he is, and he's cool within himself. So
Mhm.
I think last year we were really pushing it that he was so perfect,
Mhm.
so groomed, he's so busy,
Mhm.
like keeping up with the cool kids. And
Yep.
his this year we didn't really want to move him too much away from the actual haircut, because I don't think he's been really spent a lot of time thinking about what's going on. I think he
Mhm.
goes to the barber once in a while, right? But
Mhm.
most of the time we have him, grieving next to his girlfriend in a
Mhm.
hospital bed. So it's
Mhm.
very important that it kind of looks like he's missed his appointments for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And he has not brushed, right? Like
Mhm.
he really, really wanted to go messy. He's like, I am not okay. And he's like, it will take that we have a little bit of length on the side for it to not be too clean looking. And I think his barber did a wonderful job because he really had to kind of be on top of him to make sure it stayed messy and it kind of stayed uneven. And it, again, it's very awkward, right? Like it's not pretty. Like you're in between all of these. He just doesn't care. And so what he did with him was that it's a wig, because Caleb actually had very, very long hair. So he has like big braids underneath it. And what they did was that they used all of his own edges. So we kind of have that rounded, natural hairline that especially makes black men really, it really gets them going.
Yeah.
And that's something I've learned during like a couple of, different period things. It is, it's quite a statement when you don't do a hairline. So the first couple of years when he was a little kid, I let him actually cut his hairline because it was just too much to wear at home. And then I would glue Afrotech onto his edges and change his hairline. But now he's obviously a grown man, and he's like, oh no, I don't. He was like, I don't need anything. I got this. I'm fine. And so he's so cool within himself, right? Like he was like, I can have a soft hairline for a year. It's great.
For the story, in serving that character, but I can only imagine the poor guy. Uh, The other thing that we're contending with this season in particular, not that we aren't for other seasons, is the sort of full-blown nature of the things that are coming at these characters. So, whether they're like running and sweaty and wet, if there's weather, if there's blood or wind, or so. What was the sort of breakdown? How many pieces were you working with
I
to
don't
sort
know.
of represent? No, I can. Yeah. So, can you
Yes,
guess at how
let me
many?
try. Let me just try to give you an
Yeah.
example,
The
right?
scale.
Because I think that's the only way. Let's just do one character just to
Yep.
simplify it, right? So let's say we have Nancy. We obviously, there's going to be, I knew obviously we needed 3 different wigs just because of the way that we shoot. I mean, we are all over the place because we really shoot after seasons. We need the right weather. There's so many things in that production plan, and we normally shoot main unit, second unit, and a stunt unit, right? And we're shooting, the first couple of episodes, the middle episodes, and the last couple of episodes. I need to be able to change Nancy around in 15 minutes to anything they want. That's kind of the goal with every single character. So every single character kind of had these 3 different set wigs. In that way, we'd be able to swap. We will also be able to clean, right? So it's like, it takes a cleaning process. There's a lot of stuff to it. Then they would also have their doubles and their stunt doubles. So they would probably have between 5 and 6 wigs for each characters that we also kind of, Kat is working with me. She was kind of in front of a computer a lot of the day, just making sure we knew exactly what was happening at all times, because we switch every hour, it would like change, right? So you just kind of had to sit there and keep up with it, with all the different hires. What trailers is the different weeks going into? I mean, this show is so expensive that if you send a week on the wrong trailer, you would hold up production. Sometimes we're shooting, it is an hour in that direction, it's an hour in that direction, and that could cost so much money. It just cannot happen. So you really got to be so organized, and you got to make sure that they are set at all times. So when we start the seasons, we're obviously starting, I think we have like 35 principals, right? I do all the fittings. And, we start the approvals, and then the first wig get cut as we're doing approvals. My team, I mean, I'm not doing this by myself, by the way. This is a team effort, just in case anybody is in doubt. And then after that, I've gone through the approved, then the other wigs have to get made. They have to be, twins. So everything has to be exactly the same. The beautiful thing about a wig when you're doing something like this is I can go to my wig maker and say, we need 4 of these. We need 6 of these. They can mix the hair. So it's exactly the same hair on
Mhm.
every single wig, which is very important. Different hair thicknesses will move in very different ways. And you will see that if it has a different thickness, texture. So they have to be able to go through the same styling.
Mhm.
So you're gonna have to, it's a very strict system to make it all go down. Then we start, obviously, we cut the wigs, we color the wigs. You cannot color wigs in exactly the same color unless it's made out of exactly the same hair. Everybody
Mhm.
that does color know that you could color my hair on a Wednesday, and in 2 months it might take a different way, right? So it's
Mhm.
already difficult enough to make stuff match. And if it doesn't come from the same batch, I mean, then you will go through many, many more hours of
See the Hunting Wives, and
yeah.
that sort of disaster in terms of wig production. So this is all making sense. I'm wondering, uh, how did you keep track? So you mentioned again there was an assistant or a team member, excuse me, using a computer to track things. But like for you as head of this whole operation, what were you doing to make sure you weren't losing track of all of these various moving parts? Because I imagine that it's
Well,
no
I
small
can't.
task. Yeah,
I
okay.
mean,
Okay.
you
Yeah,
cannot
no.
design and wrap your head around this and like also do that. I have 2 department heads, which
Mhm.
is pretty unheard of.
Yeah.
So I have one, I mean, I have 2 there equally, they're both very, very strong. And
Mhm.
I would say this is now they're going to get offended
Oh
no
no.
matter how I put it, right? Like I'm like, one is kind of like my doctor. She can do anything. She can fix a wig in 10 minutes. She can sew it in, she can stitch it, she can, and they can both do this. But there's
Mhm.
one where I'm like,
Sure.
wow, she's really, really amazing at this. And then the other one, I mean, she's one of those people that have a brain that you could I'll text her. I was like, what day did we shoot Dustin at the cemetery? And I can text her right now and she'll tell me the date. She's that kind of person. I
Wow.
could not. I could never. I can hold stuff clear in my head for so long, but my main job was like getting people approved, right?
Mhm.
So I gave a lot of, over the years, I've slowly given responsibility away. Kat
Mhm.
and Bryn has been with me. They were both in actually on season 1, met
Wow.
them on season 1. They were day players or, you know, and it was mainly me and Miss Evelyn. And then season 2, they kind of started full time.
Mhm.
Um, so they know me really well. Like it is kind of crazy, but I see something, I have this monitor so I can see what they're shooting on set. And I'm like, I have this pet peeve that I don't want any hairbrushes. And I'm like, somebody has brushed Winona's hair. That's like one thing that will like freak me out. I'm like, who has a hairbrush on set? Get that hairbrush away.
Throw it in
But
the trash.
they will often, they know me now. So even if we have like somebody that takes out a certain curling iron, they're like, oh, that get it away, get it away. And they also, they know my aesthetics so much that they can like mimic my work completely. Like it's
Wow.
kind of crazy. They know what I think before I think it. So we have these 2 girls. Under them we have all the keys, which is what should I call it, the executors, the
Mhm.
people that is like doing the hard work. They're on set for 16 hours, right? They're the ones that make sure it gets our design and all the work we have done looks right when you look at it at the screen. All these parts are equally important because if one of my keys don't understand what it's supposed to look like, well, why did we do all of this stuff? Now we're
Mhm.
shooting something else anyway, right? So each and every one, so they take care of the keys. And then we have the units, right? We have the cutting unit, we have the perm unit, we have second unit, and we have stunt units. And so both the keys and my department heads are obviously making sure that all of these things are running. Still, though, the cutting unit is doing all our background people. Every time there's an approval, and that's like thousands of people going through,
Mhm.
I get every single photo and I'll be like, more bangs. I need more volume. I need less.
What a dream.
I hate a side ponytail, and they will keep going until I get a photo. They will grab that photo and that photo has been approved. So on the
Mm,
shooting days, they know exactly what she's supposed to look like.
mm.
So I guess I'm the approval person, right?
Wow. As if that were the only thing. But oh wow, I'm so this is such a fascinating thing that you've done this process. Um, we're not going to talk about what's to come, and we will have you back because I want to eventually when we're able to discuss. But to the extent that you can, what's one character where all of the sort of storytelling magic that you sort of bring to the table, where is it most manifest? Who are you most sort of proud of in terms of the
There
breadth of
are,
these programs?
well, I think, I mean, children coming of age stories and the teenagers, there's now grown-ups. I think that's very interesting because you're seeing all those sensitive years that we
Hmm.
all had, right? And
Hmm.
and the different ways of handling, figuring out who you are
Hmm.
and what you want to portray to the world.
Hmm.
Does it even matter to you? For some people, they never it never even goes through their head. And for others, they're hiding insecurities in it. There's just so many different versions of being a teenager and going through that. I think that has been, just an experience and such a gift to get to go through that in like I don't know how many of them there's, but in like different 15 different ways. But
Yeah.
then Kara Wheeler, she never went through it. We also went through it with her, right?
Hmm.
So there's many times in life where you can go through that transformation. And don't we all love transformations? I mean, that's why we are here, right? And I think any hairstylist, makeup artist, we like to see when it clicks, like we are in it for the click. None of us chose
Hmm.
this for money or
Hmm.
anything else. It's something, the joy that comes back to you, that's our joy.
Mm.
That's what we are longing for. That's our crack.
Well, and now you're going to be you're giving this sort of joy to the masses. We understand that you've got a hair care line, and it's coming
Yeah.
very soon. When the hell did you have the time to build a
So
line while worrying about this world of Stranger Things, which again, that's production nearly a decade in the making?
I I started it after season 4. I
Mhm.
thought I was going to have products before season 5. I know. It's pretty
Ah.
funny. This is like a new world for me. So
Mhm.
it's been like a really wild ride. I think when you're used to doing kind of 15 things at the same time as we just talked about,
Mhm.
maybe I have a little bit of an addiction to like stuff going on.
Sounds like it. As you unpack yourself like your characters.
Yeah, exactly. I might have a problem. But I think, I started really, it started throughout the years of like, we have a very specific clientele, right? And I
Hmm.
have like a wide variety of ages. And I have also, I'm asking for the hair to hold up for 20 hours sometimes
Hmm.
and not change. Like, there's just so many obstacles in it. Where it's like, how can we do better? What can we do different? You're always
Hmm.
trying to fix a problem. I
Hmm.
mean, I hope it doesn't look like it, but there's like 14 fires every single day. Like suddenly it's raining on them. The curl patterns are changing. Like it's really difficult to try to keep stuff consistent in like
Hmm.
hot weather, cold weather, all over the map. And we also know that hair is just Makeup you can kind of paint on, right? It's kind of for dog people. Like I'm like, it's lovely. You trained your skin, you did all this stuff.
Hmm.
Hair, you do so much work, and some it's like a cat. It's
Yep.
like beautiful and purring, and then you wake up Wednesday and you were like,
Brr.
what
Yep.
what happened? Right.
Hmm.
So with my cast members, when we work like that, I can't, like, we don't have a beautiful salon. We're working from this like meat packing trailer, right? It's
Hmm.
not the most romantic thing you've seen. It's really uncomfortable to get your hair shampooed, right? Like
Hmm.
nobody wants the hair shampooed in that because
Hmm.
you gotta get, it's like, it's old school. Like you can barely
Hmm.
get back there. Sometimes the water is getting cold.
Hmm.
It's a challenge. So I have to send people home and then they have to come back like 9 hours later. Obviously, I get a lot of the time, I get exactly the same person back
Hmm.
that I sent home last night. And then I have to kind of, I wouldn't say clean it up, like, but you know what I mean? Like you're like dry shampooing, you're trying to like go against life for a little bit. And so what I wanted to do was just like I wanted to make products that had like a super clean foundation.
Okay.
So I don't like shampooing. And especially also because of my job, right? I was like, there's
Hmm.
no time for all of this. I'm like, this
True.
happens on
True.
Sunday. Like I was like, and it better last to Sunday because I don't have time to do that in the middle of the week. So I've come up with like the perfect steps for me to like kind of keep that going. I also don't like feeling products, which is really funny when you do an 80s show. I don't like
Mm-hmm.
anything that makes my own hair heavy because I kind of want lightness in my hair. I want movement. And it's the same as I want in our actors. I don't want anything that looks still. Like,
Mm-hmm.
and if you put too many products or the products are too heavy for the hair, it will fall. And
Hmm.
so if you start layering products, that's a real problem, right? Because you can't take away. You can add, but you can't take away. So I made, kind of my dream products that I think everybody needs. And you can make, and then you can do whatever you want on top of it. But it gives you a great canvas. And it kind of, it was wild because everybody always is like, you must use so much hairspray. And I'm like, no, hairstylists don't really use that much
Yeah.
hairspray. Like we like mousse. We love a mousse because that's how we set their hair. We
It's
like
true.
to blow dry straight in the mousse. We do everything in a mousse.
Mm-hmm.
And then you're kind of done. Then you can decide what kind of hair you have and if it can hold a layering, right?
Hmm.
Mine can't, but some people's can. And then you can go from there. But like, I think we've just like, we can overcomplicate stuff a lot. And I just think simple life so you can go and do what and live your life. You know what I mean?
This
Let's
is
tell
very
the
refreshing.
truth.
No, this is lovely to hear. And true to life. I mean, my God, how many steps can we possibly take? This is that the whole pendulum swing for skincare that's back to the very basics. That's what people want. They want high performance, but the sort of tight edit. So in that spirit, with the line, and what is the name?
Hindsgaul hair.
Love, love. What are we coming to market with? What is in this first sort of offering to
I
market?
am doing a salt scrub because that's what that will give you a clean foundation. That you should do just once a week, every second week, just depending on how much you go through, in life,
Mhm.
how your scalp is reacting. And that will like kind of make you so clean and gives you so much air in there. It's a perfect product for building. Like I always say, do that before a party. You want that. And
Mhm.
then I made a hair mask because you need very healthy, beautiful hair. If you want movement, it needs to be healthy.
Yeah.
And then what I did is also I kind of made it as clean as you can with hair products, right? Clean, good for the environment, all of that stuff that is expected from the young people in the world because my clients are young and they kind of educated me on, they would look at stuff and they're like, they scan it with their phone, right? Like 10 years ago, I was
That's
like, what's going on? Why are you
yep.
scanning all my products? They're like, poison, poison, poison. Why are you spraying that? You're destroying my ozone layer. I'm the one that have to live with this. So I was like, okay, that's fair. It's fair.
It's-
So I was like, after I have done all of this, I am going to try to do better because I've been bad.
Mm. Mm.
I also, for me, it was also a lot about sensory experience and
Mm.
scent, and the perfumes in
Mhm.
products can be sometimes really overwhelming, right? So I
Mhm.
wanted something that was like really clean, and they have like, I had this French perfumer make it. It's absolutely, I think it's like really lovely. Just like a little bit of cucumber and cotton with
Ooh.
some musk. It's very natural, but it's very not overwhelming. It's subtle enough that your perfume will win,
Mm.
and that you can use it in the trailer without all my actresses saying,
What is that? You're killing me.
they're like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, I'm out of here. And then I made a mousse because, and that's my hero product. I think
Mhm.
anybody needs a mousse, and I made it because I just want some, again, I wanted a mousse that kind of goes away after your hair has been dried, right? So you put mousse obviously in wet hair. Shocking how many people don't know that. And then you blow dry it or let it air dry into the position, and it will stay in that position until next time you wash your hair.
Love,
I
love
wanted
the
something where you
dream.
can't feel it. I didn't want that sticky, those 80s things. I mean, those are, you can't actually use that on your hair, right? Like
Yeah.
they'll they'll destroy your hair. So we don't actually use that. And so for my product, I want it like a modern mousse. Like,
Mm.
what do we expect from a mousse now? Like,
Mhm.
what does that, how does that work in this much more critical world of beauty that we are in right now?
Mhm.
And why hasn't it been updated? And then I made a dry shampoo. And I made a dry shampoo because I love dry shampoo, but I have
Mhm.
a huge problem with that it kind of gives it gives this buildup in the scalp.
Mhm.
So I was like, this
Mhm.
dry shampoo, I have to shampoo, and I was like, this just why? And then I realized that over the years, what we kind of have done with dry shampoo is that we have added textures because we all like texture. But I'm like, yeah, but
Get
I can
texture
get
from something
myself a
else.
texture spray, right? When I want dry shampoo, I just want dry shampoo.
Mhm.
And sometimes I just want dry shampoo like right in the front. So I like a dry shampoo where I can just go in and spot clean. I don't
Mm.
need to spray it all over myself. Because you also want beautiful shiny hair. So it's like a very, very fine, so it really disappears. Like you
Mm.
don't want to see that stuff on your hair. It's sad looking.
This, honest to God, you've thought of all of it. These are, I think, some of the most common things that I've heard over the years that I myself experienced, and that you've controlled for them via the line. Kudos to you. Where can people find the line? I know it's just coming, which is very, very exciting. Website, social, what's the plan?
Well, it's going to come out on my
Mhm.
website on the 12th, and then it's going to go into sales in the springtime. So
Amazing.
still kind of have some time,
Yeah.
and I'll go into like smaller specialty stores.
Mhm.
I think it's like a brand where it was like, I feel it's kind of like a baby, and it's so personal that I want people to go into like a little place and get the right help and the right
Mhm.
directions, and also
Mhm.
people that really appreciate that it's clean, and that
Mhm.
it's and all these things has been done with it, and
Mhm.
that I think will love like this kind of Scandinavian coolness that I'm
Mhm.
going for, right? So that's where we started. I mean, I don't know. We'll see where the future goes, right? You say stuff
Mhm.
one day, and I
Mhm.
feel like the brand is like a baby, and it's gonna like kind of decide where it wants to go. I'm
Mm.
super curious.
I love this perspective. And yeah, that's not necessarily what what these bigger brands think of when they bring something. But that's the benefit of being able to do it
I
yourself.
want people to love the project, like the
Mhm.
products. and the people getting joy out of the products are like what's most important to me, right? And
Hmm.
that's what I put above everything else right
Mm,
now.
mm. Oof. Ooh, I'm so excited. But we're gonna have you back when we talk about the second part of Stranger Things season five, and we can talk more about the product because maybe by then it'll be more sort of out there for people to experience.
Yeah,
Let's do our quick take, Sarah, and then I will let you get back to all of
yeah.
the things, including building this beautiful brand. These are the questions we ask of all of our guests. Try not to think about it for too long. The first one, what is the craziest styling request that you ever received from a client or celeb?
Uh, a buzz cut, like a buzz cut wig for Millie Bobby
I mean,
Brown.
this, and that, can I just say how beautiful that wig is? Because you've seen, I'm sure, with other productions, when they've got the buzz cut, the way that it lifts, the like geometry of the anatomy of the face, the head, like everything's off. With 11, like that's not the case. And that's you guys, that's your team.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah. We didn't know if we were actually going to shoot it. I kind of begged for it. It was
Hmm.
in the scripts, and Matt and Russ was just like, absolutely not. We had to do it in 20 minutes, right? And they were like, it's a 4-hour project in makeup
Hmm.
normally with like latex and
Hmm.
it's
Yep.
it's a whole thing. And I was like, just give me like a tryout, right? I think I can figure it out. I think there's like a mathematics equation to
Hmm.
how we can make that move with her skin and maybe layer it with silks and stuff without all of the latex. And
Hmm.
but nobody had really done it before. So it was also like, I don't know why I did that. Like but it's kind of similar to this product thing where you're just like, wow, I don't know what's wrong. I guess I can't help myself when there comes like a good challenge and something you feel really passionate about. But they were like, "Well, camera test it, and if it cannot restrain like somersaults and all of these
Hmm.
things,
Hmm.
then she's getting a ponytail."
Hmm.
So I mean, that was like the biggest day in my life where it was just like, and then when they approved it, well, then I was terrified because I was like, oh, that was just a camera test.
Yes,
Now I have to actually do
do it.
this. Like, and I was like, oh, what have I done? Very proud of it. Very proud of my team.
Hmm.
We were like 3 people executing that to make it done, like in the right amount of time. But it was really, really fun.
Wow, and definitely crazy. What is your go-to song, playlist, or podcast that you listen to when you're at work? Or maybe not. Some people are totally quiet, which we respect, and they tell us that
I
they
mean,
gotta
I'm
have
such a
silence.
sucker. I didn't even know I could like. I never choose anything. I let my
No?
husband choose. I asked them what they want. But that's
Easy.
nice. I guess I could like put my own music on. I've never done it. Like I always forget it, right? And somebody else just done it. I get so in my head,
Mm-hmm.
and then I get really excited when the music turns on, and I'm like, "This is so nice. Who did this?"
Someone else.
Yeah, so that's
Amazing.
the truth of that.
Okay. Okay. What is a bucket list item that you'd like to check off in the next 6 months? I mean, you're already launching a brand. That's a pretty big deal. So I don't know if there's anything else in the cards.
So I have lots of stuff in the cards. I mean, I think I just have to get this up and running right
Mm.
now, right? And then
Mhm.
I feel like I have started like 8 different things in the next 6 months. I just hope I can get all my boats into the water and that
Mhm.
all my ships will sail.
I've got every expectation that that's not going to be a problem for you. It seems like you've been able to manage pretty darn well yourself thus far. What is a current social media trend that you just do not understand?
Like with hair,
Anything. There, I mean, good God, there's so
anything.
many.
I don't understand half of it, right? Like
That's real.
I have like other people explain. I'm like, why? What is this? And they're like, well, everybody is doing it. My whole thing with social media is that I'm quite awkward at social
Hmm.
media. And I kind of like got on it because I had a lot of young cast members and they were like, oh my God, this is hilarious. Look at Sarah, she's so cringe. But they were also like the ones who was like, do it, come on, we dare you. And I was like, well, I don't really care. I'll put myself out there. And really, so it's been like more and more of that over the years, right? Because I've started doing it mostly for my college and like other hairstylists. And I was really surprised when I suddenly had like 1 million people following me. And I was like, well, that's more than, I'm just shocked that people are so interested in hair and transformances, and I was really happy about that. I was like, how lovely it is. They do. So that kind of gave something back. But the kids, there's now, it's funny, when I call them the kids, we still do that. When we're all together, we still call, the 22-year-olds kids. Yeah. We call the 30-year-olds, we call them the teens. It's just, we're so trained to do it. And they will do it to themselves too. But yeah, they are definitely having a heyday. Like, they think it's hilarious. So I'm definitely getting punked a little bit, but
aren't we all? Aren't we all? No, that's the truth. All right, last question. We'll let you go. If you could have an unlimited supply of one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Sushi.
Oh, all right. Damn. All right, we're done. Sarah, a pleasure. It's been a pleasure getting to know you. Thank you for sharing insights into your work and the brand. No, that's literally sushi. Perfect. Thank you. And you're gonna be back. We're gonna have you back when
I can't wait.
Next season drops. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That was fun.
All right, Jeff. Again, as noted at the front of this pod, I am always in awe of like the detail and the process that goes into all these shows. And you're right. I mean, telling a story with hair and the mood and the color and the way it moves just adds to the narrative.
Especially Stranger Things, because it's set in the 80s and it is so painstakingly
it's like pivotal
detailed. Yep. No, this was such a thrill.
It was a good one. All right. Thanks, Sarah. Be sure to hit subscribe, rate, and review, and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and TikTok at Read the Tease, and send in questions to volumeup@thetease.com.
Volume Up is the Tease Media production. This episode was produced by Monica Hickey and Madeline Hickey. James Odabache is our editor and audio engineer. Thank you to our creative team for the custom Volume Up theme song and for putting together the graphics and videos for this episode.